Hey Eric, it's Alan here. Wow, what a roller coaster of a ride that this course has been over the couple of weeks. Looking back to September, I think I definitely came into the course with a bit of a negative mindset. I thought this course was just going to be another entrepreneur course where you learn the same jargon on business ideation and creation repeatedly. The reason for this may have been a bit of ego, as I've started a couple businesses before and done a few courses on the same subject. I really thought that I knew all that there has to be entailed to learn in entrepreneurship, but boy was I wrong. I'm really happy to say that I was able to drop this mindset within the first few weeks, and especially as the course started to pick up. Throughout the course, I became increasingly fascinated through all the analogs and analogs on real startup cases that we worked on. These cases really provided me a platform to learn new ideas, which I was then able to compare and contract with the businesses I've started in the past to see, maybe how I could have done them better. As the course went on and I formed the team for Vault and the moving business that we built, I was really able to test and put into practice the theories we learned in class. As we successfully generated revenue for the moving business, it was really cool to see that entrepreneurship is a moving continuum and that there's always something new you can learn. First, a key takeaway is that there is no mold for what a startup has to be. Before this class, I always thought that a startup has to have a goal of maximizing value by growing as fast as possible. As we learned from Zita Cobb, impact can be made in the smallest of communities. Zita returned to her island of Fogo Island after noticing issues with the local economy. She came up with a unique solution to solve that issue by starting the Fogo Island Inn, which provided value through increased tourism and employment of the local people. This story really made me question the scope of entrepreneurship, as it argues Zita is just as impactful as any fast-growing tech startup. Furthermore, this concept is reinforced through Madison's story. Madison started a digital marketing agency in her small town of Chatham, Kent, a few years after graduating from Western University. Madison's story truly demonstrates that there is always opportunity, no matter how small the town or how young the entrepreneur. What matters is figuring out how to provide true value to the community and people around you. Moving along, my second key takeaway is centered around the lean startup approach, or the idea of just doing it. This concept really resonated with me, as I myself often overthink and overanalyze problems, whether it be a new business idea or simply contribution in my IB classes. I think part of this is a natural fear of failing. I've always felt the need to have the right answer before being able to simply take a stab at something. The lean startup approach completely changes this idea. This approach not only embraces failing, but focuses on learning from failures and continuously iterating. The three-step process of building, measuring, and learning was a pivotal concept for me. In class, we learned about AUX and how a lean approach allowed them to quickly figure out what works or doesn't work for them when it came to their initial client acquisition. AUX was able to iterate and double down on the things that worked and scale back on those that didn't. As my team started building Vault, the lean approach was super useful for us, as we didn't have the resources and time to know all the answers to all our unknown variables. However, by simply building an MVP and getting our product to market, we were able to quickly analyze what worked and double down on those channels to ultimately achieve the success that we got throughout the project. Finally, my third key takeaway is the importance of putting in maximum effort and doing your customer research. As we learned from Quibi, having all the fame and money in the world, startups can still fail if they do not provide the necessary value to the right customers. By launching a product or service, it is important to actually talk to your customers and deeply understand the problem that you are attempting to solve. This hit home for me, as this was the mistake I made in the past with my first business, as I simply just assumed customers want to pay for my marketing services at the price I offered without me understanding a thing about who my ideal customers were. Fortunately, I also learned this lesson again during the initial weeks of Vault storage. I again was biased and thought that I knew everything about students' moving and storage needs only through my own lived personal experiences. However, it was only through the mandatory customer feedback check-in that we set aside time to interview both potential customers as well as industry leaders such as London storage companies. Crazily enough, had we not done these interviews such as the one with StorageMart, we would have completely missed out on the vital trends that are crucial for us to know for growing our business. Personally, the two parts of this class that I truly enjoyed were the hands-on business development aspect as well as the live speakers that we had. The live speakers with real entrepreneurial experience helped to complement the theoretical lectures we had in the beginning of the course. Personally, the mix of strong lectures and real-world speakers meshed perfectly with the hands-on new venture creation that we created. In conclusion, what I've learned is that entrepreneurship is truly a lifelong journey that is unique to the individual entrepreneur. My experience in this course will truly resonate with me for years to come. I look forward to continue to grow my personal entrepreneurial career by continuing to develop new ventures and experience more diverse perspectives that this beautiful world has to offer. Thank you.